I got my mug today. It's not my favorite mug, but I love that mug. We've been through a lot together. I've had it for a long time. And it's weird because when Caribou's used to exist in Michigan, I remember I was in the store or in the coffee shop and there was this mug and there was a couple of them and I only bought it because I was like, I kind of sort of only like it, but I like mugs. I like coffee mugs. I collect coffee mugs and I only bought this one. So now I'm like extra careful with it. It's just like this. I have the Seattle's Best, the old logo, Seattle's Best coffee mug. It's like I don't even really drink out of it anymore because I'm so afraid that I'm going to, knock it over and break it or something. In fact, actually, my buddy Dave, one of my best friends in the whole world, he is, and I'm sorry, Dave, I'm so sorry. He's actually one of the clumsiest people that I've ever met. And I say all this with love because he truly is the best guy in the whole world. And one day he was over at my house and I came into the kitchen and he had it in his hand and he was, was drinking coffee off it. I was like, what are you doing? He was like, oh, I'm just having a cup of coffee, bro. I was like, just here, like put it down. And I was like trying to guide the glass, the coffee mug to the counter so I could set it down without breaking it. And I got this Starbucks mug. I got like, the ones you buy a 4-pack of so you can just break them. It doesn't matter and whatever. So I poured the coffee into that mug. So I was like, if you break this Seattle's Best mug, I'm going to kill you. I don't even like, how did you get it? Cause I have it like so packed away in the back. So that was kind of funny. What's up, Dave? All right, man. I am Tommy Marz. This is the Sound Vapors podcast. And I'm doing a little something different today. Okay. I'm going to have a little fun. I've been doing these interview podcasts now for probably like the last 3-4 months. Boom, boom, interview. And I've had so much fun doing it, by the way. It's been awesome. So I have a lot more for you coming. I already have a few in the tank, that I'm actually editing and will be getting out soon. But I want to, I feel like I've gotten away a little bit from the top 10 list. And those of you that have tweeted me, messaged me, text me, whatever, and asking me where's the top 10 list? Because I've got a lot. I've actually got a lot of people inquiring, asking about the top 10 list because I don't do it anymore. I do want to do it. It's just I'm trying to get these interviews out and I really want people to hear from the artist and hear about their song and their story. So that's kind of what happened there. And, I was trying to make these episodes like, I guess, palatable, or I don't know, just not too long because, you get into a top 10 list, that can take me in a bunch of different directions. So I decided I'm going to dedicate an episode to a top best of type list. And in honor of the time that it is May. Just if you're keeping score, it's May. Theoretically, we should be out getting ready for summer. And theoretically, we should be getting ready to rock out on the yacht. Well, not me, because I don't have a yacht. Or I don't even know anybody with a dinghy. But it's almost time for Yacht Rock. So in that spirit, I decided to come up with a Yacht Rock extravaganza spectacular episode. And I've got 24 of my favorite Yacht Rock jams. I'm trying to get ready for the summer here. I thought about it. I wish I had a captain's hat because I totally would have wore that mug today, but I don't have one. Although I do have a Pompeii. I should have wore that. Okay. Well, I'm too lazy to go change and reshoot this 3 minutes or whatever that I'm going through. So I'm going to hit you with a top 24 list. But before I do that, I have a few caveats. Almost like with every list that I put out, there's always a caveat to it, right? So this is no different than all of those. I decided that I had to make this. I had to do this. I can only have one song per band, right? Or one song per artist. Because if I didn't do that, like the whole top 10, it would have been, Doobie Brothers, Steely Dan, Christopher Cross. You know what I mean? I could do my whole list could be just their songs. So that's what I did. I decided to do it like that. But caveat to the caveat is I was developing this list. There is a Steely Dan song. I can only choose one. And that might have been one of the hardest decisions to make, which Steely Dan song, because they all rule and they're all Yacht Rock worthy. But then there is Donald Fagen, who put out a solo record in 1981. I think it's Nightfly. But he has a song, the IGY song. That is a Yacht Rock elite Yacht Rock song. That has to be on the list. So then the hamster up the stair, he started running. He was like, wait a minute. I can have a Steely Dan song and a Don Fagen song. So then I was like, okay, so that's good. So I got to get both of those on there. So of course, you know where I'm going with this. Everybody knows how much I love Michael McDonald. So I got a Doobie Brothers song, and you know you should know what that song is. If you listen to Yacht Rock or know me, you know what that song is, Doobie Brothers. But then I was like, wait, I can totally squeeze on a Michael McDonald song. Totally. So that's what I did. I've got Michael McDonald, Doobie Brothers. Actually, I'm going to give you guys a quick little preview hint. If you get this, well, you don't have to do the honor system. It doesn't matter. If you drop me a comment, if you're being real and you get this before I unveil the list, I would love to know if anybody knows there are 4 songs on this list in some way or another feature Michael McDonald. That would be a great trivia question, but I'm going to blow it by, giving you the list. All right. Another thing is I made it 24 instead of 20 because I couldn't do 10. I tried to do it to 10, but I started jotting down all the great Yacht Rock songs and I got to like 40 something. And well, okay. It was 46, but I like odd numbers. So I'm going to call it 45 or 47, whatever. So God, I'm a big weirdo. So it's 46 songs, and I was like, I got to get this thing down. So I didn't want to make it 20. So I was like, I'm going to make it 24. Here's the deal, Ski. The reason why I made it 24, an even number, even though I don't like even numbers, is that I'm going to unveil 12 of these, and I'm going to have a special guest call in, an artist that I just actually recently spoke with, and she has a new single out, and that's coming out on soundvapors.com next week. So look for that. Her name is Carly Shea. She's going to call into the show in a little while, and she's going to drop, 5, 10 of her favorite Yacht Rock songs. And I'm really curious to see, does she have any that are the same as mine? Because I don't know. I just asked her, hey, you should put a list together and we should talk about it on the phone. So I don't know what song she's going to come up with. So I'm going to give you the first dozen, and then we're going to talk to her, hear her list, and I'm going to give you the second half. The top 12 Yacht Rock songs of all time. Okay, one more thing before we go. So this morning, as I was getting my coffee together, right? I'm making coffee. That is good coffee. I was humming a song, and I'm like, it was like, that camera moment where you look right into the camera, you break that third wall or fourth wall. I'm not sure what it is. I was like, oh my gosh, I do not have Dobie Gray, Drift Away. I don't have it on the list. So I just want to be upfront with you guys right now and tell you that song is not on the list, but I want to acknowledge its greatness. It should be on any Yacht Rock list. So let's just call that number 25. Oh yeah, so it became an odd number list. Perfect. Number 25, Dobie Gray, Drift Away, unofficially on the Sound Vapors, Tommy Marz, Yacht Rock Extravaganza. Oh, I said another word. I don't remember what it is. All right. Let's get into it. I'm going to take you right to number 24. Now, here's a song. Now I already feel bad. It should be Dobie Gray. Okay, I put this at 24 because I don't love the verses of this song. I just love the chorus. I'm not talking about moving in, and I don't want to change your life. But there's a warm wind blowing the stars around, and I really love. So it's England Dan and John Ford Coley. I'd really love to see you tonight. It's a great song, man. It really is. It's such a good song. So that's number 24. Number 23. It's the only instrumental on the list. If you listen to Yacht Rock, this should come on at some point, and I would expect you to groove. Trumpet. So Herb Alpert. It's like Jim Halpert. Herb Alpert. It's hard to say it like that. Route 101. Here's a little trivia, fun fact about Herb. He is one of the founders of A&M Records. So for Alpert, A&M Records. The other guy, his name is Jeffrey Moss. And his other, I guess, claim to fame, I would say more recently, Jeffrey Moss is a huge, huge horse racer guy. He's a breeder, He's the owner of horses. And A&M Records, that's where Stuart Copeland, my guys, the Police, they put out records on A&M Records. And so Jeffrey Moss is a big fan of the Police. So he had a horse in honor of Sting. He named it Set Them Free because if you know Sting's solo career, that's one of his big songs. In 2010, the 2010 Horse of the Year actually is Zenyatta. That horse, that was a special horse. And she, I think still, I'm not sure if it's still, but is the first female horse to win the Breeders' Cup. I believe I'm saying that right. Pretty neat. So there you go. There's your trivia. A&M Records, Route 101, Herb. 22. I like Jay Ferguson's Thunder Island. Ooh, yeah. Man, I just like that song. It makes me think of like summer, going away to like a lake or a camp or something. It almost like the great outdoors. It reminds me of something like that. I think that's why I like the song so much. It's a great sha-la-la-la. It's just a great tune. So that's number 23. Some of these songs, when I listen to them, I say, oh, it should be higher on the list. But then as I get through the list, it's like, oh, well, I can't move that one down, right? So let's go to number 21. Boz Scaggs. This is one of those artists where I feel like I could have more than one song. I mean, I mentioned at the beginning I had to do it one song per artist. He's another one. The one I chose is JoJo. And the reason why is when I was a kid, my name to my family was JoJo. In fact, my dad to the last day, JoJo, that was my name. Like I really didn't hear him ever call me Tommy or Tom or Thomas or whatever. So my grandfather who actually gave me that nickname. So that whole side of the family, like I think that I'm JoJo, you know what I mean? And it's just weird. So I felt like when my dad passed, I felt like that JoJo thing went away. So my favorite number has always been 21. 21's an odd number. 2 + 1 is 3. Boom. Nice. So I had to put it at number 21. Boz Scaggs, JoJo. JoJo. Great tune. Number 20, Bobby Caldwell. He's got actually a nice couple of jams that could be on this list as well. But since I'm playing by the rules, What You Won't Do for Love, right? All right, let's get back on it. Number 19, the band is called Looking Glass. The song is Brandy. And I think it's probably one of those songs where it has like the little, like it's Brandy, You're a Fine Girl. Brandy, You're a Fine. I can't sing that song. I just know when it comes on, I love it. I try to sing it. It's a good one. It's number 19 on this list. Number 18, this song is, it's weird because I don't listen to it that much. And I think I've come to almost dislike it, but it has to be on like a list like this. And the thing is, it was on a commercial, it was like Swiffer. I think it was a Swiffer commercial. Swifter or Swiffer? I'm not sure. Baby, come back. So, Player. The band is called Player. And it definitely, absolutely deserves to be on a Yacht Rock top best of list. But I think I'm a little sick of it or whatever, but I had to put it on the list because, when it comes on, like when it starts, just like a lot of songs in that era, it just, you start to sway a little bit. So there you go. Player. Come back. Number 17. All right, check it. Ambrosia. Not a fan of the fruit salad, but I'm a fan of the band. And there are 2 songs that I had to choose from on this list. So it was Biggest Part of Me and How Much I Feel. Both worthy, both should be on the list. Had to do that line in the sand thing, and boom, Biggest Part of Me. That's my choice for the top 24. So that's number 17. Number 16. It's weird. This next one, I don't know that it's like the quintessential Yacht Rock song, but they play it on like every Yacht Rock station. If you're on Spotify, Amazon, Sirius XM, so it's become a Yacht Rock song to me, and I love that. I'm in love with the song because it's a story. It's like the storytellers. Like all the storytellers now, it's just all. I don't even want to go down that path. Anyway, this is just it's a good story. And if a story can make you emotional, that's not like a visual, like it's not a film, it's a song. They did their job, man. So this is a Triple M guy. This is Michael. Actually, what is his name? Michael Martin Murphey. The song is Wildfire. Here's a cool thing about this. So way back, like 2007, David Letterman just absolutely fell in love with this song. And I know he knew it from way back or whatever. So he had been talking about the song for weeks on his show. He just kept bringing it up. He kept talking about it. It was almost like it's like the obsession thing. He's just talking about it. So he got Mr. Murphey on the show and he played the song. And you know what? When it was over, the look on Letterman's face, it just looked different than he normally does. Because, hey, how are you? Good to see you. That type of thing. He really did. He like put his arm around him. He was just so excited to have him come on a show and sing that song. And it's like relatable because like even with this podcast here, I'll kind of obsess on a band or an artist or a record or song or something. I'm like, I must talk to this person about the song. And I'll like kind of obsess about it until I get them on the show. You know what I mean? That's kind of how it was. It seemed like for Letterman back then. And that's kind of how I roll, man. So we're going to call that number 16. That's Wildfire. Number 15. Here's one. I actually don't think this gets played enough on Yacht Rock or on enough lists. It is absolutely, positively in my list. It should be on your list too. Todd Rundgren, I Saw the Light. Just soon as you hear the beginning of it, here. Drive with me. I'll tell you what. It's, man, it just smells like summer, right? It sounds, it smells, it tastes like summer, that song right there. Number 15. Actually, maybe that even should be higher. Man, that's a good one. That's a good song. All right, number 14. I mentioned I took the easy way out, and so I could get some of my other guys, girls on the list. And that Yacht Rock song is Michael McDonald, Sweet Freedom. It came out what I think is after the window of like true Yacht Rock songs, but it belongs. Like, if you were on a boat and you had like you had your ice cubes swimming in some kind of alcoholic liquid or something, you could jam to Sweet Freedom. Side note, I just watched Running Scared. I think it was like 2 weeks ago. It was on TV. I watched it and I hadn't seen it in a long time. It is still a friggin' great movie. Billy Crystal, Gregory Hines, highly recommend it. This song is from that film and they play it a couple times and they play it at the end. It's phenomenal. It's a great song. Really good movie. Number 13. You know how I like this song is? There's a movie with Mark Wahlberg, Invincible. The Vince Papale story. Vince Papale, Philadelphia Eagles. So this song is playing in the bar. It's just like that 70s vibe. And it's Ace. How Long? How long? Actually, forget the Yacht Rock. It's just a great song. All these songs are great songs. I do listen to them. I actually have a playlist of these songs as well. So there you go. Ace, number 13. How Long? Number 12. All right. I just told you about Mike. Like he's my buddy. Mikey McDonald. This song is also a little past that window, but it has to be on there. And it is Lionel Richie, All Night Long. Well, my friends, the time has come. That has to be on the list. And in fact, when I go to a Jimmy Buffett show, so my buddy Mark got me into these Jimmy Buffett shows years ago. Truth be told, I wasn't that really, I'm not that, I like to hang. I like hanging. So I was like, yeah, I'll go. I'm not the biggest fan of whatever. Dude, I went to Jimmy Buffett, had an amazing time, and we've gone actually, I don't know. Mark, if you're listening to this, you should text me and let me know how many times that you and I have attended a Jimmy Buffett show together. I want to say it's a half a dozen, probably. And I've had a great time, like every time. It's so much fun. So, reason why I tell you this, friends, is because one of my favorite parts of that whole Jimmy Buffett show, besides Margaritaville, the land shark, or the shark thing, fins to the left, fins to the right. That's actually my favorite part of the show. But one of my other favorite parts of the show is when Jimmy Buffett, if he does All Night Long, it is such a good time and the whole place just sways and stuff. And, everybody's happy. Everybody's just happy, peaceful. It's a really good time. So if you go to a Buffett show and he plays All Night Long, consider yourself lucky. All right, that is my top 12 thus far. 12. Actually, you know what's so weird? I am not a math major, so I should have stopped one before. I should have stopped at 13. I should have stopped at Ace. How long? So I can unveil the 12. But I'm not going to edit it. That is what it is. That is the last end of the 13. Oh, man, oh, man, oh, man. So I will be right back because I'm going to have a call coming in just a minute from Carly Shea, and we're going to get to hear some of her favorite Yacht Rock jams. So I will be back, my friends. All right, so I've got recording artist Carly Shea here on the phone to talk about her favorite Yacht Rock songs. Now, I know there's a ton of them, but let's go to the top of the list. What is one of your favorite Yacht Rock tunes?
Man, they're all really good, but I would say my like quintessential Yacht Rock song is An Eye for an Eye by Byrne and Barnes, which is, they're this duo. They never really seem to have made it, but they're great.
Man, right out of the gate, and I don't even know it. Dude, I suck at this. Okay, you gave me one of your favorite quintessential songs. What's another one? What's another song that you have?
Another one that I have would be this song, Why by Robbie Dupree.
Oh, man. Okay, now we're talking. There's a good one. Nice. So far, we don't have any similar ones. Okay, what's your next one?
I would say Coming Down from Love by Bobby Caldwell.
Oh, okay. That's a really good one. I will tell you, I do have Bobby on the list, but it's not that song. Okay. Yeah. Nice.
I would say this one's not even on YouTube, so I'd have to send you a link. This guy was a songwriter for a lot of yacht artists, but Guy Thomas, the song Three Little Words.
Oh, yes, I do know that. Okay.
Oh, you know it.
Yes, and you know what? Man, you're hitting me with some really good ones here. Oh, okay. I think mine are more like, not there's like mainstream yacht rock, but mine is more like the band that you know. I love this. Okay, you're getting
awesome.
Deep here. Sweet. Okay, what else you got?
I would say this one's like kind of blurring the lines a little bit, but Robert Kraft on the West Side, not the sports guy. This guy Robert Kraft was a big producer, and he actually runs a company now called Kraft Box. It's like a big entertainment company, but he actually used to be a really good kind of yacht funk musician before all this.
Man, you are bringing the heat, dog. I can't believe it. Wow. Okay. I am so learning something. All right. Give me your next one.
Dang. Okay. I would say No One There by Eric Tagg.
Dude, what the hell? How are you getting these? What? Like, oh my gosh.
I don't know. I love, yacht rock is my thing. Could I just, I don't want to include this one because I'm sure you have it, and I feel like it's like an obvious one, but you have Pages on the list, the group Pages.
Okay, I don't, but you know what? My whole list is obvious. Now I feel stupid with my list because you're coming up with all these cool ones.
No. It's just like, everyone, I think people also like familiar stuff too. So.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, all right. What's next on your list?
I would say this one's kind of like a little... Like, some of these are blurring the lines, but there's this woman, Linda DeFranco, and she did a song called TV Scene.
Dude, I don't even know. I've known 2 so far.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You said 10, right? Or 12?
Yeah.
How many? 10?
How about 12? Let's do 12, yeah.
Okay, 12. Okay, cool. Then I would say Shack Attack, Easier Said Than Done. It's a little cheesy, but it's SHAKATAK, Easier Said Than Done.
Oh, man, I like the spelling. Nice.
Then I would say, I'd throw like If I Saw You Again by Pages. Pages is like a pretty cornerstone yacht rock band. Then I would say this one's really blurring the lines. It's more in like the 90s. This was made in the 90s, but I'm going to pull this one because it's Daryl Hall. Daryl Hall had a solo album. I believe this was in the 90s, where it was kind of like New Jack Swing / yacht rock influence. He has a track called I'm in a Silly Mood. It's kind of blurring the lines, but because he is a yacht rock legend, I would throw him in there.
That's awesome, and I do know the solo record. And here's the thing.
You do?
Here's the So here's the scooperino. This is awful to say. So one of the first songs I jotted down when I was doing my list was Hall & Oates, I Can't Go For That, right?
Yeah.
Because they're legends. And also Toto, Africa, you know what? They both got taken off the list. I did not include either. Now you say that he is a legend. He should be on the list.
Yeah, he should be on the list. I mean, both Oates and Hall. But no, I mean, there's only room for so much yacht rock.
I know, but it deserves to be. It was one of the first ones I put down on there. But the problem was I was rocking so hard last night to yacht rock that I got caught up in these other songs that maybe shouldn't be above it. Okay, anyway. Okay, what's your next one?
My next one would be Tonto Tonto by Rosie Vela.
Man, I guess I need a lesson in yacht rock. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I need a lesson.
No, it's all yacht rock. And then my last one, this is like modern day yacht. I actually just found this guy like a couple days ago. I don't even know how, but he's this modern guy. He kind of sounds like George Michael reincarnated. He goes by the name Le Flex, L-E and then Flex. And there's a song, I mean, all of his songs are great, but he's got one called Adored. They're all just like killer. It's super good.
Huh? Not bad, right? Weird thing is we did not have one single song that was the same. I was very surprised by that. I mean, I was really surprised by that. I couldn't believe it. We had one guy that was this Bobby Caldwell. She had a different song of his. And, you know, obviously I had a different one than she had. But yeah, that was odd. How you not going to have any Mike McDonald, man? Carly, what's up? We talked about the list that I'm putting together for you guys right now. And, you know, there's a lot of times I was saying, I was struggling between this song or that song. And Carly's pretty, she's just like upfront, you know, she's, oh yeah, you made the right choice. Or, oh yeah, I wouldn't have put them. Like she was totally killing my Wildfire pick. She hates it. So I'm going to send it to her. I'm going to figure a way to send out a jingle of that to her. I don't know when her birthday is, but if I find out when her birthday is, I'm going to send that to her or something. I don't know. All right, man, let's get on it. It should be the last 12, but it's going to be 11 because I'm a goof and I messed it up. Totally messed it up. I guess I should have drew a little line there in between so I knew when to stop, but I did not. Number 11, Tencc. If you know what that is for, Tencc, the name of their band, what that means, good on you, man. I am not going to share it on the show because this is a family program, but it's not great. So that's the name of their band, Tencc. Okay, here we go. This is another thing. This is another example of a band that has a couple 3 songs that could be on any list. So there's Things We Do for Love. Things We Do for Love. Great tune. Dreadlock Holiday, man. Yeah. I don't like reggae. I love it. It's a great tune. It's total yacht rock, man. I love it. But the one I picked, which is the correct pick, by the way. So you can argue with me about almost everything on here, but you cannot argue this one. Tencc, I'm Not in Love. Let's take a little listen.
I'm not in love. No.
It's just so good. It's total yacht rock. It's summertime. What a great song. All right. Number 10. This is important. Rupert Holmes has a few songs that should be on the list. In fact, when Carly and I spoke, I think we both agreed that the Pina Colada song should be, and I don't even know the real name of it. Is it Get Away? Or some, I can't remember. I just call it the Pina Colada song. That is the correct pick. But she's right. There's some other good ones too that we both agreed on. I was saying Answer Machine because it's so awful. It's like, you know, leave a message that says like, beep, I'm not in. I don't even know the words, answering machine. It's awful, but it's just a great yacht rock song. And I actually love when it comes on. She talked about the song Him, which is another hymn. It's a great yacht rock song. It's a great one, but Pina Colada song has to be on there. And really, so let me be truthful here. This probably should be higher on the list. This is probably number 1. Like if there was a real list of the top yacht rock songs, I mean, you kind of associate yacht rock with that song. If you like Pina Colada, Dancing in the Rain, Getting Caught in the Rain. See, I do not know the words of these songs, but I do when they come on. Well, I'm singing the wrong words, but I feel like I do, right? Like if I'm in the car, I'm jamming it, singing it with everything I got. But that's the correct pick. So reason why I say that is I acknowledge this should be probably at the top of the list. I have heard it a lot and I don't love it. And actually the story is messed up, man. He's taking out an ad in the personal column or whatever to cheat on his wife. And then at the end, she's cheating on him. She's the she's gonna cheat on him, and then like meet up at the end. It's like, oh, it's you. I mean, it's kind of messed up actually if you think about it, right? It's a good yacht rock song.
If you like pina coladas.
Let's go to number 9. I mentioned Steely Dan. Donald Fagen, IGY, has to be on the list because it's his own thing. He's his own artist, right? So that counts. He's got to be in there. On my list, he's number 9. IGY, if you're wondering, that is International Geophysical Year. That's what that means. And it was something, I think it was in the 50s, like the late 50s. It was like a bunch of scientists got together or something like that. And they decided this was this thing because it's like, that was the time you were talking about space race and all that kind of stuff. So that's what the IGY stands for. It's not for the supermarket. Wait, I think that's IGA. I'm butchering so much today. All right, let's go. Number 8, Robbie Dupree. This is such a great tune. But for me, I think it's funny that the song is named Steal Away. Like, steal away, because it is absolutely what a fool believes. It is what a fool believes. And I've heard the story of this, and I don't know how true it is, so I don't want to spread gossip, but I guess I'm going to spread it anyway. I've heard that Michael McDonald was aware of this song, and the label or his people or manager or something they were going to sue Robbie Dupree because it's so what a fool believes. And that's why I love it so much, because I love what a fool believes. It's like one of my all-time favorite songs, not yacht rock songs, favorite songs period, is easily in my top, 10, 20 songs of all time. That's how much I love this song. So I love this song too because it's the same song. It just has a little different spin on it or whatever. He even kind of tries to sound like McDonald a little bit. But what I had heard, Mike McDonald was like, nah, I'm not going to sue him. I don't want to pursue litigation. Like, he's just like, he's trying to make it, or whatever. He's putting out a song. It's a hit, good hits are good hits. It's a good song because, the original was good. So, this one is pretty good too. So, but it's number 8 on my list. I definitely love when this song comes on. I perk up. I like all the yacht rock songs, but there's a couple that when it comes on, I'm kind of like, woo, I'm just like this one here. Robbie Dupree, Steal Away. I do think it's ironic though that Steal Away. It's like the movie Signs. Swing away, Meryl. Steal Away, Robbie. Number 7. Let's go to number 7. Oh, this was a tough one to decide between the two songs that I'm going to have to decide which one goes on the list. So number 7, Seals and Croft. Carly told me that I made the correct choice on this. But I was going back and forth, literally sitting here going, Diamond Girl, that should be on the list. But then it's like, Summer Breeze. I mean, it's Summer Breeze. It has to be on the Yacht Rock list. That was tough, though. She was very quick to say, no, you made the right choice. But man, that was really tough to do it. I went with Summer Breeze, but Diamond Girl is, great song. I don't even know actually is that the name of the actual song, but that's what I associate it with. So that's number 7. Number 6. Okay, so I mentioned that, right? I mentioned, Steely Dan, Doobie Brothers, Christopher Cross. Here's the other band that would round out. I could do a top 20 of just those 3 or 4 artists. America, story time. Strap in, guys. 3 songs I thought of right away that should be on the list. Ventura Highway, In the Sun. Okay, so that should be in there. Sister Golden Hair. Oh, well, I keep on thinking about you, Sister Golden. Dude, it almost. I almost wanted to fudge it and make an exception or something because it should be on the list. I look forward to hearing that song, but I had to go with Horse with No Name. I had to do it. Number 1, because it belongs on any Yacht Rock song list. Absolutely. It should be on there. It's a great, great song. Here's my story. So I was driving. It's actually part 2 of a story of part 1 I'm going to tell you guys in a minute. I'm going to tell you that story in a minute. But this is actually part 2 to that story. So it's like in reverse order. I know. But I was driving up the coast. I was on the East Coast, and I was driving up, and it was middle of summer. Actually, it was July because I went away for like July 4th holiday or like a week, and I was like, I'm just driving. I want to be by the ocean. I want to drive, and I want to listen to music, drink coffee. And I'm driving, And now I've found, so it's like part 2. I've found Yacht Rock, so I'm got Sirius XM on, and Horse with No Name kept coming on, and it was, I'm driving for hours because it's hundreds of miles, and I don't even care. I'm just driving. I'm going over bridges, which I hate driving over bridges, but I don't know, man. It's just awesome. But the song just kept coming. It must have been like 8 times, man. But I wasn't getting sick of it. But I started in my head. I was like, you'd have been cool at the second verse if they did like kind of a boom, boom, if they broke it down. And then I started to think, man, I would love to hear like an acoustic rock version of this, like Days of the New. If Travis Meeks did Horse with No Name, I wonder what that would sound like. So about, the 8th time it came on, I started to really think about what would I do if I was doing this. I'd like to put some heavy guitars here and, put a full drum set on the whole song and, just make it heavy, just make it, and not a hard rock song, acoustic rock, and just kind of make it, really, give it some bottom end and stuff, So I got back from the trip and I was like, I'm going to start working on that song, just see if I can develop it, see if I can make it sound like in my head the way it is. Because a lot of times, if you're an artist, it just doesn't come out that way. It just doesn't. Sometimes, for me anyway, most of the time it never comes out of my head sounding like it did when it was up there, with the hamster running on the wheel. It just never really sounds like that. So I started putting it down. So first thing I did was lay down the acoustic guitars. And then I just couldn't wait. I was like, oh man, I know I got to lay the drums and the bass. But I started singing it, and I liked the way it was going. So let me lay down the drums. So I lay down the drums. Let me lay down the bass. Let me re-record the acoustic guitars. I'm going to put a little bit of electric guitar on it and stuff. I did. I got the demo already. And I was going over to see my dad. Now, this is right before he died. And I said, hey, man, I got to show you this thing. I want to show you this demo I'm working on. I'm working on a new record or whatever. He was excited. And I pulled this up, and he listens to it. And I just, that's his time. By the way, that's his time to me. I mean, I can fake it and go back and love 70s rock and 60s music and stuff. But that was his time, that was like those boys that went to Vietnam, that went to Korea, that were in the Army or any of the armed forces. Like these were their songs. You know what I mean? So Horse with No Name was definitely one of his songs. And so he just had a weird look on his face, and it was a good look. It was a smile, and it was his eyes didn't well up, but he just had a weird look on his face. And he was like, hey, who used to love this song? And anyways, it's just a family friend or whatever. And he's saying how he couldn't get enough of the song. He couldn't get enough of the song, and his friend couldn't ever get enough of the song. And he's telling me this, and he's just like, wow, you did a great job. He's like, I would never have thought that it would sound this good with like kind of the way you did it with the instruments and making it a little harder, because it's kind of more of a, slow jam, hippie kind of, whatever the original is. And so it's going to always be special to me because that was actually the only demo he heard of the album. Wound up putting out 71 Trips Around the Sun, which is dedicated to him because he was 71 when he passed. And it was one of those things that's always going to be special. So I know, put away the violin. I'm only telling you this. So even if one of the other songs, maybe in your opinion, should be on there, I get it. But for me, this one is always going to be up there. And yeah, man, I just want to keep it real on where it should be. I think it belongs in the top 10. So I decided I'm going to put it number 6. So number 6, America, Horse with No Name. I hope you enjoyed the story anyway. All right, man, let's get to number 5. This is top 5 Yacht Rock Extravaganza. These are my top 5 favorite Yacht Rock songs of all time. I think some of you know where I'm going. Number 5. Okay, in terms of Yacht Rock songs, I put this at 5, but in my whole life of songs, this will be top 10 for me. It's weird. It's 5 on Yacht Rock. I guess I'm trying to explain is that I don't think it's the best Yacht Rock song, but it's one of my all-time favorite songs. The artist, Gerry Rafferty. I'm a big Gerry Rafferty fan. I like his tone of his voice. I like the way he writes. I love the way that he double-tracked his voice, especially on that record. So the song is Baker Street, of course. And I just told you this long story about my dad, Horse with No Name. There's another one of those things actually was, I feel like that's always been his song, you know what I mean? And it became my song sometime in the 90s. I just really attached to that record. That whole album, I like the whole thing. I like all his stuff though, Steelers Wheel stuff. But so Baker Street, I feel like it became my song at some point, and me and my dad actually, we didn't bond over a ton, to be honest with you. This is Gerry Rafferty is actually definitely one of the things that we bonded on. It's good music. So yeah, in the whole world of things and songs, if I do a top song list at some point, this is going to be on somewhere in the top. That's how much I love it. I love it. Okay, quick thing on Baker Street is there was always some kind of, I don't know what it was. It was like not discussion, but a differing opinion, a debate. There it is. I'd get there. 3 Ds, different opinion, discussion, debate. The 3 Ds of dodgeball. So what it was that the saxophone player, can't think of his name, said he came up with that saxophone part, that piece that you hear, that I mean, the iconic sax solo. And Gerry Rafferty was like, no, I made that up. I hummed it to him. But they never really got into a thing. So there was some, I can't remember exactly. It's been a long time. But I thought the guy sued Gerry for rights or something like, hey, songwriting credit. And Gerry, I guess, could have countersued or whatever. He's like, whatever. But no, I'm not giving you the thing because you did not make that up. And then Gerry released, before he died, he released a demo of the song before it was actually Baker Street. And lo and behold, there is a guitar part that he put down. So he's like on this little, probably 4-track thing in his house, whatever, on tape. That guitar part, it is the guitar part. He made it. He did it. He created it. And the sax player played it after Gerry hummed it to him. Problem solved. Number 4. Here we go. Let's get into the Mike McDonald. So remember the question I asked you a little while ago? Can you guess the 4 songs that Michael McDonald was a part of on this list? We've already heard one. That was his solo song, Michael McDonald's Sweet Freedom, right? Okay. Number 4. There is I should have looked it up. Rick Moranis, SCTV? I think it's SCTV. They do this parody of Michael McDonald doing his parts on the Christopher Cross jam, Ride Like the Wind. I guess before I get there, I know Sailing probably should be on the list because it's sailing, for God's sakes. It's yacht rock. I know. To me, though, Ride Like the Wind is a superior song. It's so badass. I mean, this song rules. It just rules. And Michael McDonald, such a long way to go. It is awesome. It's awesome. I say this a lot, and I know for those of you that know me personally, I will find any excuse to do a Michael McDonald impression. I just fell on my face with my Morgan Freeman impression on last episode, so I don't really want to get into a Michael McDonald thing, but man, when Rick Moranis, he's like, okay, he just sounds like Michael McDonald. Oh my goodness. I'm just such a fan of his music. So it's number 4. I know Sailing. I know, I get it. But Ride Like the Wind is my choice. 1 song per artist, dude. It is Christopher Cross, Ride Like the Wind. Number 3, we've got a second. No. We've got a third Michael McDonald sighting. And when I was talking to Carly Shea about this song being my list, I think it went something like she didn't realize that was Michael McDonald. And now, just like I am, that's all I hear is his voice. And now she's the same way. Oh yeah. She's like, that's all I hear is Michael McDonald. And the song is Peg. It's Steely Dan. Peg, shut up, Peg. That's Michael McDonald. And so that's kind of like all I hear now, especially in that part of the chorus. Steely Dan. Din. And it's the shuffle, man. That drum shuffle it's one of my favorite drum shuffles on any song that's ever been recorded. Is on that track off of the album Asia. Steely Dan, Peg. Man, you know what? I fell in love with Steely Dan a few years ago, and now I just cannot get enough. Now I'm I'm to that point where I've listened to everything so many times, and there was that long break in between, and I don't know the years. I want to say it's like 18 years, 19 years. Huge break in between, and Donald Fagen put out some solo stuff, but Walter Becker had also a great musical mind. And I'm just so disappointed that there was not more albums. Like there could have been 3-4 albums in between of that could have come out with those two guys. And when they came back, I think it was 2000. And back in those days, I was like upset that It won album of the year. They came back, first album back, and it won a Grammy. I think it won 4 Grammys that year, and it beat out Radiohead, Kid A. It beat out Eminem. I can't remember the other album, but I remember like, man, this is BS. These old guys coming back, and of course they're going to win the Grammy. And now I listen and say, yep, it should have won. It's great. Sonically, it's great. It's mixed so well. Songwriting is great. Musicianship, it's, to me, just, I know, I'm sure I'll get some hate on this. It's not even close. It's not even close. I get it. Radiohead's up here. Eminem, I get it. All around, boy, oh boy. It's a great record. It really is. For the times, though, I will admit, maybe it should have been one of those Kid A or the M record, maybe. I guess. Whatever. All right, number 2. Story time. This is part 1. This is part 1 of the story. So I just told you part 2 about Sirius XM driving up the coastline. I gotta take a coffee for this. I gotta get it warmed up. So I'm driving. It's in the middle of summer, a couple years ago. I got a coffee. I have a little, the moonroof, it opens up, right? I got the windows down. Screw that. I'm not using the air. I want to smell the sea. I want to smell the salt coming from the water. And I'm driving, and it's sunny. There's a couple clouds in the sky. And I listen to 80s on 8. That's like my channel on Sirius. And then I go back and forth to Lithium. Of course, I'm throwing a 90s on 9, stuff like that. 80s on 8 is probably my go-to, though. And a song came on that I don't know, maybe I just heard it too many times, because there are those songs, and like, I think I've said this, like when Sweet Child of Mine comes on, boop, the first note, it's gone. I never want to hear it again. It's a great song, great band. Just never want to hear Sweet Child ever again. So it was probably that song, actually. I'm trying to think, but I think it was gone. So then I'm like surfing the channels or whatever, and Yacht Rock comes on. I'm like, whoa, I like this. I like this vibe. I like these late 70s, early 80s soft rock jams. I'm loving this. So when I turn it on, the song that comes on is, I was just going to try to sing. I can't, because the guy's, he just has such a cool thing. I can do the ha 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 ha. Feels right. So Moonlight Feels Right. Starbuck. The band is called Starbuck. Dude, if you had this number 1, you would get nothing but smiles from me. It's such a great song. Forget the Yacht Rock thing. It's just, and the video is awful, because he's like, when he does the laugh, he's just like, he doesn't even get into it. It's like, ha ha ha. You don't even move to it. It's just a fake laugh. It's the worst, but the best fake laugh ever. And then the xylophone solo, I think it's a xylophone. Sorry if it's not, but we're going to call it a xylophone. Xylophone solo. Oh, this dude, man, he's got the beard. He's got the hair. He's got his like chest hair sticking out. And he's rocking his xylophone like he's crushing a guitar solo. He kicks his leg out. It is epic. It is one of the best solos of any solo ever. It is so damn good. And forget the coolness factor. Just go watch up the video. Go pull up Starbuck, Moonlight Feels Right. Go watch this xylophone solo near the end of the song. Dude, I don't know how. I'm amazed that somebody could actually come up with that and do it. And, play it like that. It's such a great tune. And it is quintessential yacht rock right there. Moonlight feels right. It's like I could almost hear that song being played in like National Lampoon's Vacation when he goes to that bar with the Eddie shoes on, the white shoes. It's like that kind of vibe, man. Such a great song. I will never turn that song off. It will never become Sweet Child of Mine. I love to hear it each and every time it comes on. Starbuck, Moonlight Feels Right. Alrighty, guys, this is prize time. Just kidding. You should know what number 1 is. I've been freaking almost said something bad there. I've been talking these guys up, talking about specifically Michael McDonald up the whole show, the whole damn show. I've mentioned his name more times. If you're playing at home, we'll just say take a sip of coffee every time I say Michael McDonald. But if we were playing it with alcohol, you would be bombed by now. So number 1 has to be Doobie Brothers, What a Fool Believes. This is the Yacht Rock song of Yacht Rock songs. To me, it is just like Starbuck. It will never get old, ever. And I've heard it, no, seriously, I probably heard it as much as Sweet Child of Mine, which is totally opposite what I'm saying because I acknowledge how great the band is, whatever, Guns N' Roses. But this song, it just never gets old. There are days I'll be sitting here, like before I'm going to do an episode or I'm going to, whatever, do a YouTube thing. I'll go on YouTube and there's a couple videos I always pull up and watch. One is Stevie Wonder, Living in the City. I love to watch Steve Jordan kill the drums. I love watching it. And I love to watch this video. And it's the one because it has a little VH1 in the corner when, they used to play music videos. It's them it looks like a college campus or something, right? And Michael McDonald's got this little sash or something over his shoulder. It's like so yacht rock, dude. It is so like if you have Sirius XM and the guy's like, living the high life, Sirius XM yacht rock. It's just like that guy should have introduced them, back then. It's perfect. He's like wearing white. His hair's kind of like dark, but turning. It's beautimous. It's such a great setting. I watched that video and the Stevie Wonder video. Those are probably if YouTube keeps track, and I'm sure they do, my 2 most watched videos on YouTube of all time would be those 2 videos. It's not even Duran Duran, because I got those Duran Duran videos on DVD. So I watch them on DVD. But those 2 videos I watch all the time, and then kind of sneaking up there now is that Starbuck video, because I watched that one too. It's his laugh, the awfulness of that laugh. I just can't get enough of. But number 1 yacht rock song of all time. I'm saying it. I'm not even saying that this is because I always weenie out, say, this is my top 10 favorite list. So blah, 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 blah. No, I'm telling you, this is the number 1 yacht rock song of all time. It is Doobie Brothers. It is What a Fool Believes. That's it. That's number 1 on the list, guys. So now I want to take the time to talk about some songs that didn't make it. At the top of this list, I talked about Dobie Gray. Should have been on the list. Should have been on the list. You know what the problem is? I have a little bit of a competitive streak, and I didn't want to bump off number 24, England Dan, because I already put it on there. I'm like, nope, damn it. I said it's 24, should be 24. I should have bumped that off and put on Dobie Gray. Definitely. 2 other songs that should be on the list. I mean, it should be. So there's Pure Prairie League, and I had to write it down because I never remember the name, but I know the song is called Amy. Amy, what you gonna do? That should be on the list. I love the harmonies. Everybody knows I'm a sucker for those. Great harmonies in that song. For a while, that should be on the list. It's not on my list, but it should be on the list. The next one, I had to write this down because I get this one every time. I never say it right. Ozark Mountain Daredevils. OMD, right? The 80s band OMD. So Ozark Mountain Daredevils. Ooh, Jackie Blue. That should definitely be on the list too. It's just a great, great tune. So you could probably throw at me 10 or 12 more songs. I'm like, oh yeah, that's a good one too. That should be on there too. But like I always say, I drew it. Here's my list. This is it right here. That's it. Top 24 yacht rock songs of all time. Man, I really hope you enjoyed this. I had a lot of fun putting this together. This felt really good to do this. It really did. It was fun. And I think in the future, I know in the future, I'm going to start putting together lists like this, and I'm just going to have an artist or band call in to give me their opinion. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. I'm going to reach out to some fine folks that I kind of keep up with that are in the business, and I'm going to have them call in when I do a list. I'll prep them. I'll be like, hey, I'm doing a top, guitar list or a top, whatever. Best places to see a sunset. I'm going to have them call in with their opinion. I like this. This is fun. I want to thank Carly Shea for calling in and talking about her favorite yacht rock songs. And it was so sporadic. Honestly, I felt like a doofus when I sent her a text. I'm like, hey man, can you do me a favor? It's just like, so it felt like so random and stuff, but then she's just like, yeah, sure. You got to love that. So thank you so much for taking the time to listen to this goofiness that was this yacht rock extravaganza. I hope you enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. I really did. And I hope you come back. If you're listening to this on the podcast, please subscribe, rate, and all that good stuff. If you're on YouTube, can you drop me a comment of your favorite yacht rock song? Just give me 5 or 10. Actually, even if you want to just give me your favorite yacht rock song. If you could drop in the comment below, I would love to see it. And I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. If I get enough comments on a future episode, I'm going to shout out your comment. I'm going to shout out your comment of what you said, because I like the interaction. The thing is, on the YouTube, I'm starting to get a lot of comments when I have the artists on there, and I like seeing when people tell me what their favorite song is of that artist. I love seeing that. I really do. I get a kick out of it. Most of the time, somebody tweets at me, and they'll tell me, and I try to gather everything and make a list out of it. Sometimes it's hard. So what I'm asking you is keep tweeting if you want to tweet, because I do. I'm probably more active and get back to people on there. So what I'm about to say doesn't make sense. But drop me a comment below so it's all in one place. Because what Twitter, goes down the timeline and my notifications, and some days, some weeks, I get more notifications than others. So I might have 400 notifications and it's going to get lost. Like it gets lost and I'm not going back down to find it and stuff. So there you go. There's that. So do that for me. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. It's growing. I'd like to keep it growing, and it's all because of you, and I really appreciate it. If you have an idea for a future episode of the top 10, leave that comment as well. I need ideas. I'd love to hear about it. All right, guys, I am out of here. I'm about to go listen to some yacht rock, right? No, I really am. So thank you so much. This is Tommy Marz, and you've been listening to the Yacht Rock Extravaganza on Sound Vapors. See ya!